Well, hello again. So, you got this certificate here. It says physical measurement and calibration from the United States Air Force Air Training Command. So, physical measurement and calibration. Well, one of the hardest parts in that course was learning about absolutes versus relatives. The My background to that point really was pressure gauges for, say, rebuilding a car engine, testing the vacuum or testing the compression on a car, testing a pump out. So you read those gauges in PSI in America, pounds per square inch. And when they're sitting out on a bench, they read zero. So that was my basis. That was fundamentals coming in. I understood how a pressure gauge worked, how air or oil gauges, and you might want to put something in between to keep the oil out of the gauge. So pressure gauges, yeah. Now, when you get into finer measurements, the other measurements that are performed, PSI goes away. It disappears or has to be converted into an absolute pressure measurement. On a scale, it goes from 0 to infinity. So all of a sudden, that PSI gauge still worked exactly as it does. But my understanding of its relative pressure to wherever it is versus being in outer space. In outer space, that gauge would be trying to go below zero. The little mechanics in there, the stops, would be pressed against, trying to go below zero. So that's how that pressure gauge works. Temperature is the same way. You're familiar with Fahrenheit and Celsius. Those two you can kind of relate to. 0 to 100, freezing to boiling. 0 to, well, we understand it better as 0 to 97 degrees, human body temperature maybe. Because the boiling point of water is way above that. It's not a 0 to 100 scale, it's 0 to boiling point of water. So its 0 is a relative 0. Makes it confusing. So you have to go to a Kelvin scale. Well, where 0 is 273 degrees. It's on the internet. So shifting those concepts, shifting the mind from understanding 0 on a bench is different than 0 to a chemical engineer, a mechanical engineer, a pressure vessel engineer, a boiler engineer. They might or might not think in that Kelvin term, but most all of their pressure gauges are in PSI, with rare exceptions. So there's 0 to infinity, made even harder to understand. So in those probably some 100 hours of training on how to work with physical measurement and calibration, that is torque wrenches, so that the torque wrench you buy from the store actually works and is as accurate as it says somewhere in the fine print or in the website or in the package inside. So there's a little bit of the confusion of measurement done quickly. It's another one of those rabbit holes, converting Fahrenheit to Kelvin. Now, that Kelvin That conversion is the basis of a denominator you can't lose. So even while you're talking about boiling your eggs, the denominator doesn't matter. But elsewhere it does. You can't lose that in the equations, or you can get misleading statistics. I hope that helped. I've got two more of these. These are the things that you hang on a wall. Advanced electrical electronic measurement, 240 hours. Microwave measurement and calibration, it was a Navy course, 160 hours. Each one of those broke some of the things I had thought about the world around us. The roundicity of it, the spherical nature, the cyclical nature, and the old age of this planet. So, piece of history, piece of science, and a piece of my mind. Peace out.